So just too long.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
All the way from Mesa, huh?
I called Kay and I said, this is kind of unusual, but
Where's the beeline?
Mary Lou, we were on a first name basis. But Mary Lou's going to follow me to the beeline.
There you go.
And then head her in the right direction toward
Yeah.
Mesa.
I said, when you get to the beeline, I'm going to go left.
You go, turn right,
I'm going to go
yeah.
right.
Gee,
She did.
good.
Okay, I got you live, your audio is working.
Okay.
Turning your call on.
Hello.
Hey Bernie, how are you feeling?
Oh, just peachy.
You sound peachy. Okay,
Terrible.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
you will be
put you on, you're live on YouTube right now, feeling fabulous.
Ready to go?
Sounds good.
Okay, we're ready for you.
Okay, it's 5:31. We'll call this meeting to order. And first of all, Pledge of Allegiance, Mr. Hartman.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag
To the
of
flag,
the United States of America and to the republic
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
I so move.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, agenda is approved. Next item is I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of discussions or consultations with designated representatives of the Fountain Hills Unified School District to consider its position and instruct its representatives regarding negotiations for the purchase, sale, or lease of real property. Do I have a second?
A second.
I
All in
second.
favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.
I feel like taking the water in.
It's only my third.
Well, the first one was fun, so.
You were good? Okay, I'll make a motion that we reconvene to general session. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. And Bernie is sick at home, so he's here virtually on phone, just so everyone knows. Okay, next up is approval of the minutes for the February 4th board meeting. Can we do all these together, or one at a time? The
You
three meetings?
together unless you have changes that you want to pull them
Okay.
out.
So the approval of the minutes for the February 4th, February 11th special board meeting, and the February 18th board meeting. Are there any corrections that are needed? or-
There was a typo, now I can't remember where. But I think it was just one word. The letters were transposed.
You want to just tell me after the fact?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes with that to be announced correction. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, on to informational reports, starting with a summary of current events. Dr. J.
Dr. Cousy, members of the board and guests, thanks for being here. So a couple things just want to share. Been exciting finish to the basketball season for the first time in school history that I'm aware of, and I've been here a long time. The boys and girls both played in the Final Four in the same season, and it was a great run. Both coaches were Coach of the Year. So Coach Bonner and Coach Farrington, both are Fountain Hills High School alumni, which makes it even more special. Boys made it to the Final Four, came up short in the game against Pima. Pima went on to win the state title. And then the girls made it to the state championship, second time they've made it in school history, and came up a little short against St. John's, but both teams had a great season and a memorable one, and just both moving in a positive direction, and they have a lot of talent coming up, and they will be back for sure. On the wrestling side, we had two athletes that finished in the top three. So we had Tyler Trapani was state runner-up, and Ava Bourne took third place. So both of them have storied careers, lots of wins. Both were seniors and finished very, very strong. This Friday at McDowell Mountain, we have the Teddy Bear Parade, which is one of the special events that we do. And our preschoolers will be coming over. They get a chance to see the school. There's a very, very good chance they'll be there next year as a preschool. We're still finalizing the move, but this is a great chance for parents to see McDowell Mountain, go in and see the planetarium and all the cool things we have to offer over there. Ms. Reiger gave me a lot of things to talk about, so she's really proud of her school. They went to BizTown today with Junior Achievement, so special thanks to Peter and Teresa Conti Foundation. They donate to make that happen, and Ms. Reichler went with them today. We have Field Day coming up. I think we have a previous fastest kid in school here tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So we are, we do Field Day now. For the last couple of years, we brought it back, and we always have a couple of races that we want to see where the kids finish up. So that's fun. We've had some field trips to the zoo, and the garden is really running smooth. And special thanks to our service groups that are helping with that. The middle school and high school are getting ready for state testing, so that has been a big priority for them, making sure everything's working correctly and doing some final last-minute preparation in hopes to keep those A letter grades over there. Spring sports have started, and we've had our baseball teams off to a great start at the high school under Coach Ellett, so lots of great things happening. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next up is the reports from governing board members, and I'll just go briefly. Once I was at the Hats Off to History at the elementary school. It's great, and I always like the patriotic emphasis on that, so that was good. And that's all I have to report. Lily?
I also went to the Hats Off to History, which was fantastic. I went to see the play at the middle school, and they did a fantastic job, and that was all created by AI, and they really had fun with it, and they were very good. I've been going to the site council meetings just to see what's happening, and I would like to put an ask out there. If you're asked to be a representative for one of the grades, especially in elementary school, please do it. It really helps to get everybody's input on what's going on in the school, and you find out exactly what's going on in the school as you're sitting there. I went to the committee on the facilities board, one of the boys' basketball games, the last one that was here, which was really a lot of fun. What else? I sat in on the new textbooks for the elementary school, a presentation, and I'd like to ask that we bring that up at the next meeting, because if we need to have it out there for 60 days before we approve it, I would really like the teachers to be able to have some training before the end of the school year. Not when they come back and all of a sudden have to do everything at once. I did attend the elementary school, the honor roll and principals list. There were quite a few kids there, so it was really fun to see each grade, how different they react. And one of the last things I went to last week was the coalition essay luncheon, which is always a tearjerker, and I really mean, sometimes you hear some stories, but the students are fabulous in everything they write, and even though some said that they did it because the English teacher told them to, but they did do it, and they won, and there was financial rewards with it, so it's very impressive every year.
Good. Okay. Kim?
I don't have much to report this time. My work has been very busy this last month. But I did want to just state that the middle school did a little something different for their honor roll and principals list students this time around. So previously they would have, a meeting in here, and it would be done, by grade at different time periods, and the parents could come and see their child get a certificate for honor roll or principals list, and the kids would get a cookie, and then they'd leave. So the middle school is kind of taking a different tact on this now, and I can say my son was pretty excited about it. He's a 7th grader, and so how they handled it this year, or this round, is they did it by grade, and each day this week so far, I think, the honor roll and principal list students for 6th grade on, say, Monday, got to have some extra 20 minutes recess lunchtime with the other kids that had also gotten honor roll principals list, and they got to make their own special ice cream dessert. And so each grade has gotten to do that. And I really like the idea. I did not, because my work is so busy, I did not get to go and celebrate with my son, but parents were invited to go and be there as well with their kids. And I think it's a nice motivating factor that will help encourage, especially our older, middle school aged kids, to really strive towards getting that extra benefit. So just thought I'd share that.
Okay. Bernie, do you have anything for us?
Sure, I went to the honor roll ceremonies, and it was great to see the kids for honor roll and the principals list. Happy kids and happy families. Protect Our Youth essay luncheon, and our students have been really fantastic in surviving some very challenging experiences. And finally, the basketball tournament went to 3 of the different games at the Coliseum. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to reports, and the first is the Middle School and High School Coalition Above That Club and the Washington, D.C. trip. Henry and Peyton, I think you're going to help us out here.
Hello, thank you so much for having us today. My name is Elizabeth Waters. I'm the program manager, and I just have to say I'm very proud of these boys, and I'm going to let them take it away.
My name is Henry Good, and I'm the Above That Vice President. And this is Peyton Jokins. He is the club treasurer. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Fountain Hills Protect Our Youth Coalition. This year we had the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. and attend the CADCA Youth Summit and National Leadership Forum. The CADCA Forum brings together more than 4,000.
All right.
It's okay. Got it, bud.
The CADCA Forum brings together more than 4,000 people from across the world, including prevention leaders, educators, and youth coalitions. There were more than 100 workshops, training sessions, and speakers focused on preventing drug use and helping communities support healthy choices. We were honored to represent Fountain Hills and what we learned back to our community. Before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about who we are. The Above That Club is a youth coalition made up of students who want to make a positive difference in our community. Our mission is to lead, inspire, and support our community by modeling integrity and educating youth on the dangers of vaping and drugs and alcohol. The club started in 2025 as part of the Fountain Hills Protect Our Youth Coalition. Our focus is peer-to-peer education, which means students helping other students to make healthy choices. Our membership has grown to 24 students, and we meet 2 Thursdays each month to learn about prevention, plan activities, and educate other youth in our community. We were selected to attend the CADCA Youth Summit the day right before winter break. We were not expecting the announcement at all. When we heard the news, we were shocked, but also extremely excited. We realized this would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to represent our community and learn from other youth leaders across the country. From that moment on, we were counting down the days until the trip. This is the first time youth have been invited by the coalition. A goal Fountain Hills Protect Our Youth Coalition has had on its action plan since 2009. The flight to Washington, D.C. went very smoothly, and getting through the airport was no problem. A great part of the surprise was that our parents were coming with us. We got off the plane and we couldn't believe the amount of snow. The hotel we stayed at was the Gaylord National Resort, and it was honestly the most beautiful hotel we've ever seen. The hotel was huge and filled with thousands of people attending the CADCA conference. Right away, we realized we were a part of something really important. The conference took place at the Gaylord National Hotel in National Harbor. CADCA stands for the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. This event is called the National Leadership Forum, where people across the country come together to share ideas about prevention and community health. During the conference, we attended workshops and youth sessions where we learned strategies for preventing drug use, and helping communities support healthy choices. It was very interesting to meet people from other states and to hear how they address the same challenges that communities across the country are facing. One of the most important events during the conference was the SAMHSA Prevention Day. SAMHSA stands for the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, which works to improve mental health and prevent substance misuse across the country. During this event, we learned from national leaders, including U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., and RADM Christopher Jones. Secretary Kennedy spoke candidly about his own past struggle with drug addiction and his recovery, explaining how substance misuse affects not only individuals but also families and entire communities. Secretary Kennedy also discussed the Great American Recovery Initiative, a new executive order focused on expanding treatment and recovery programs across the United States. This initiative includes a $100 million investment aimed at addressing homelessness, combating opioid addiction, and improving public safety by expanding recovery-focused treatment options. A key part of this effort is the Safety Through Recovery, engaged in evidence-based treatment and supports initiative, also called STREETS, which helps connect people experiencing homelessness and substance use disorders with housing and long-term recovery support. He also has announced a $10 million assisted outpatient treatment grant program designed to support adults living with serious mental health conditions while they continue living in their communities. Hearing these national leaders speak helped us understand how serious the substance misuse crisis is and how important prevention programs are. Especially youth-led programs like the Above That Club are helping protect our communities. Our first youth session focused on how to start a conversation with someone who might be struggling or making unhealthy choices. One of the most important lessons we learned was that listening is just as important as speaking. When you listen carefully and respectfully, you can better understand what someone else is going through. This helps you respond in a supportive way instead of judging them. These skills are important when we talk to other students about making healthy decisions. Our second youth session was about identifying hot spots in our community. A hotspot is a location where people often go to participate in risky or unhealthy behaviors, such as vaping or drug use. In this session, we learned how communities can identify these areas and work to improve safety and awareness. We also create maps of possible hotspots in our town of Fountain Hills. Some examples included certain public parks, gas stations, and areas outside of stores where students sometimes gather. The goal of this activity was to better understand where prevention efforts might be needed. The third youth session was called Product of Our Environment. This session focused on how people around us and the environments we spend time in can influence the choices we make. When young people are surrounded by positive influences, supported friends, and strong role models, they are more likely to make healthy decisions. This session reminded us why youth leadership programs like the Above That Club are important for building positive environments for students. At the conference, we also visited the Vendor Expo. This area included organizations from across the country that provided prevention resources, educational materials, and programs for communities. We had the opportunity to speak with representatives from different organizations and learn about tools that help prevent substance misuse. It was a great opportunity to gather ideas that could help our coalition come back home.
One of the most impactful experiences of the trip was visiting the DEA Museum in Washington, D.C. The museum shows the history of drug enforcement and the impact of the drugs have had on communities across the country. The atmosphere in the museum felt very serious and emotional because many displays honor people who lost their lives in the fight against drugs. There was also exhibits explaining how different drugs affect the body and the serious dangers they create. One exhibit that stood out the most to us was called Faces of Fentanyl. The Faces of Fentanyl Memorial exhibit, located at the DEA headquarters museum in Arlington, Virginia, displayed more than 7,000 photos of people whose lives have been lost to fentanyl overdoses. Each year, each photo represents a real person with a family, a story, and a life that was cut short. Seeing so many faces displayed together was extremely powerful because it shows just how widespread and deadly fentanyl has become. It made the crisis feel very real and personal rather than just statistics. Walking through the museum and especially seeing the faces of fentanyl exhibit was emotional and eye-opening. It reminded us that behind every number is a real person and a family that has been affected. Experience like this rainforest was why prevention, education, and programs like the Above That Club are so important for protecting young people and raising awareness about the dangers of drugs. Another highlight of our trip was Capitol Hill Day, where we had a personal and private tour with Congressman David Schweikert. Because the government was in a shutdown at the time, the Capitol building was closed to the public, which meant we were actually the only people inside the Capitol after hours.
It's cool.
Congressman Schweikert guided us through the underground tunnels that connect the government buildings, which had artwork and historical displays along the walls. During the tour, we were able to see parts of the Capitol that civilians do not normally get to visit. One of the most incredible places we saw was the Speaker's private balcony, where important leaders such as past presidents, the Pope, and visiting foreign leaders have stood. We also visited the Capitol Rotunda, where the large dome is located and where statues representing important historical figures from every state are displayed. One of the most exciting parts of the tour was being able to sit on the floor of the House of Representatives, which was a huge thrill because it is a place where we normally only see on the news. Unfortunately, we were not able to bring our phones into this area. So we were unable to take pictures of that experience. But it is something we will definitely never forget. Visiting the White House was yet another unforgettable experience during our trip. Before oh my goodness, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
Doing fine.
That's fine.
Visiting the White House was another unforgettable experience during our trip. Before entering, we went through several layers of security to ensure everything was safe for visitors. The tour included several of the public rooms on the state floor of the White House, including the Blue Room, the Red Room, the Green Room, State Dining Room, Cross Hall, and Entrance Hall. Each room has its unique history and it's used for unofficial events. Meetings and ceremonies. As we walked through these rooms, we were able to see historic furniture, artwork, and decorations that helped tell the story of our country. Secret Service officers were stationed along the route and were available to answer our questions about the history of each room and how they are used today. Our own Mayor Gary Friedel was also gracious enough to send a letter supporting our visit, since the White House often asks for letters from local dignitaries. When groups request a possible greeting with the president, we hoped we might have an opportunity for a brief encounter with the President Trump. But unfortunately, that request was denied. Even so, being able to tour the White House and walk through such an important and historic building where many major moments in American history have taken place was an incredible experience. One evening, we experienced the National Mall at night during a 3-hour guided night tour of the monuments. We traveled through Washington, D.C. on a temperature-controlled coach bus while a guide explained the history of the monuments and important events that happened in there. Seeing Washington, D.C. light up at night made the monuments feel even more powerful and memorable. Our tour included several stops around the National Mall. We first stopped outside the United States Capitol, where we explored the area and took photos at the heart of our American Republic. We then visited the Lincoln Memorial when we saw the massive statues of President Abraham Lincoln and learned about the history of the monument. We also visited the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, which features the Stone of Hope and many of Dr. King's inspiring quotes, overlooking the water at the tidal basin. During the tour, we also saw many other important landmarks, including the White House, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, the Korean War Veterans Memorial, and the World War II Memorial, where we were able to find the pillar representing our home state of Arizona. The tour also passed by sites such as the National Gallery of Art and the U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial. Being able to experience these historical places at night made the monuments even more impressive and gave us a deeper appreciation for American history. During the trip, we also had time to explore other parts of Washington, D.C. We visited museums, historic landmarks, and different areas of the city. Being able to see these places in person helped us better understand American history and how our government works. It was exciting to experience places that we had previously only read about in books. This trip created many memories that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives. We met youth from across the country who are also working to prevent drug use in their communities. We learned leadership skills, prevention strategies, and the importance of listening to others. This experience inspired us to continuing growing above that club to keep helping other students make healthy choices. We would like to thank the Fountain Hills Protect Our Youth Coalition Board for supporting this trip. We would also like to thank the town of Fountain Hills for believing in the youth prevention and education. Because of their support, we were able to attend this conference, learn valuable lessons, and bring those lessons back to our community. We are grateful for this opportunity and excited to continue our work with the Above That Club. Thank you.
Wow. Well, you both did a great job, and I'm jealous. That's a wonderful trip.
Fabulous job.
I'll have to ask Dr. Schweikert if he can kind of swing that for sometime.
The boy needs to go.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Any
Great
comments
job.
from others? Or? Okay, thank you.
I heard these young men at the health fair as well, and I was impressed then, and you keep impressing me every time.
And by the way, most adults cannot do a presentation and a speech that is that long.
Yeah.
Much less, some people can't even get up to the podium. So great job, you guys.
Great
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Thanks for what you do. Okay, back to more mundane things. The next thing up is the site council minutes, pages 21 to 29. Any questions or comments about those? You're all welcome to stay for the rest, too.
That's right.
Okay, baseball, all right. Homework, go to it. Okay, we'll take a dramatic pause here while we clear the room. Good thing.
Thanks.
Okay, site council minutes. Any comments, questions out there? Anything else? If not, then we'll move on to the current enrollment report on page 30 and 32. So we have several students that graduated, otherwise enrollment's pretty stable.
Yep, I just want to call out 23 students graduated early.
Yes, it's fantastic.
And several transferred in from
Yeah,
other
we're at
areas,
two.
Yes.
Even with all
Yeah.
the students.
Yeah.
which is pretty good. So
That's
the
very good.
public perception that people are leaving Fountain Hills is not true. Yeah, they're actually coming here. How about that?
If they leave, they graduated.
How about that? Well, that's a good reason. That's a good reason, yeah. Okay. All right, next up is public comments. Do we have any? No, we don't have much public left either. Okay, on to the action items, starting with the personnel action report, page 33. Any questions about that one?
Not much in there either.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we approve the personnel action report. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Next is the payroll vouchers from page 34 to 38. Any questions about any of that?
No questions.
If not, I'll make the motion that we approve the payroll vouchers. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. And then the accounts payable vouchers, pages 39 to 51. And I don't think I have any questions about that. Anyone else?
No.
Okay, so I'll make the motion that we approve the accounts payable vouchers. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, next up is donations starting on page 52. And I actually have a correction on page 52. About 3/4 of the way down, there's a name Patty Mulligan. It's actually Patty Milligan. It's one of my neighbors, so
Okay.
minor thing, but that's,
We will
yeah,
correct that.
Patty Milligan, M-I-L-L. Okay. And as always, we are very much appreciating all the generous people that make these donations. Some quite large this month, actually. Very appreciate it very much. Okay, is there a motion to approve the donations?
I move we approve the donations.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, next up is, starting on page 70, the emergency procurement for fire security, electronics, and communications.
Dr. Kowski, members, of the board, and guests, we're bringing tonight a emergency procurement to explain that we had to move quickly as we had a chip on one of the computer boards go out, and that caused some buildings to have some audio issues with the system. So we have multiple systems in place, as you know, with Informacast and the alarm system. So we just need to get that corrected as quick as possible. So that's why we had them out, and we did get it repaired as quick as possible.
Okay, any questions about that? If not, who would like to make a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next up is the Superintendent Advisory Committee members, starting on page 75, as well as the modified list that we have trimmed down here that was provided to all of us. Is it sent to Bernie, or?
Yeah, I emailed it to Bernie.
Okay, so you've seen it too. So basically, the changes from what was previously posted was a couple of the ex officio members or leaders were unavailable, so there's a couple of changes there. But it's good representation, so what, there's 8 people on the community, 8 on the parents, and then 7 on the staff and students each. Any questions about that, about the roster?
No.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we approve these nominations to the Superintendent Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Next up is the school calendars for 2026-27, 2027-28, and 28-29, starting on page 77. Any questions, comments about that?
Krista, did you say there was one change? You had put in red, but I didn't really see red. There's too much red, so.
No,
I thought
I
it was
didn't
like.
change anything on the calendar.
Not
Okay.
since the last meeting.
So they're the same ones we saw last
Yes.
meeting,
The ones we
yeah.
saw last.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make a motion then that we approve the school calendars for 2026-27, 27-28, and 28-29. Do we have a second?
I second. I'm
All in
glad
favor?
we're doing several years at once. Makes it
Okay.
easier.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Moving right along here. Next is the middle school schedule, starting on page 87. Oh, no,
No, I
wait,
think the
okay,
sal-
we're
you
back
skipped
track
the
here, I
salary
skipped
schedule.
one. The salary schedule, starting on page 81. And I did have a question about this one. So on the top, on the step column, it has, BA, Bachelor of Arts, and then MA, Master of Arts. But it would seem it would exclude, what if it's a Bachelor of Science or a Master of Science?
We count those all the same. We can
Okay.
make that a shift. We are actually bringing to you the exact same salary schedules we've had. We have not
Okay.
made a change to them. We're just getting them re-approved for next year. You'll see later in the meeting, we have an equalization that we want to talk about. But right now, we are bringing forward the same salary schedules. Any compensation that will come to you for next year through the meet and confer process will be through that process, which would be not a salary schedule shift with the uncertainty of, override and things of that nature. We are looking at a compensation to be a one-time that we'll be bringing to you. So this would leave the salary schedules where they're at, and then later in the meeting, we'll talk about equalization of them, and I'll explain that later.
Okay. So my only question would be for clarity, should it say BA/BS?
Yes, we can change that.
MS, just so
We
it's-
always count,
Yeah.
we look at it as bachelor's, master's, doctorate,
Yeah,
but we can.
so maybe just to
definitely-
clarify
yeah,
that, those
sure.
headings to be reflective of that, so. Any other comments about that?
Yeah, I guess my question is, does this take into the impact of changing out Power School and Synergy as far as what the staff and teachers are expected to do?
No, this is just the salary schedule that we place employees on when we hire them. And from that point forward, they can either move a step if they get education, or move a step if we do a raise as part of the next year's negotiations. But this year, we are not going to be presenting to you a salary schedule change until we have further information about the future of the override and things of that nature. So we're presenting to you to keep the salary schedule the same, but duties and expectations teachers have is part of the meet and confer process, which you would then reapprove each year. You just did it at the end of last year. And we've already done that process, and we're complete with the certified at least. And that'll be coming to you in the next, probably the next meeting, a first read, and then a final approval before contracts are due.
Thank you.
Other
And-
questions?
And what you're going to propose later, that's if we do want to give some kind of stipend or something.
Yeah, we're looking at a one-time increase, but that will be brought to you with the final meet and confer document. And we just need our attorneys to review everything to make sure we're doing it correctly. And that'll come to you as a future agenda item with the final meet and confer document, which there are very, very few changes because we did a massive change to it last year that you guys approved. So there is probably about 2 or 3 red lines in the whole document. And I led that process this year with Kaylee leaving and Alicia coming in, and we are happy to say we're done. So it went really smooth. I still need to meet with classified and administrative, meet and confer. Those are scheduled, but the certified one is the one we need to get done the quickest because contracts need to go out by March, 23rd is our hope to get those out.
That's good, because I knew we couldn't give anything this year, so I want to make sure that's put in there.
Yes,
so
you're correct.
can.
So I'll give you a whole presentation when that time comes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I will move that we approve the 2026-2027 salary schedules with the heading change to reflect Bachelor of Science, Master of Science as being included. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. Now on to the middle school schedule, starting on page 87.
Yeah, Dr. Council members, board and guests, Dr. Wheeldryer could not be here tonight, so I will answer any questions. We gave you some sample schedules there to kind of see how it'll work. Again, we went through a process of stakeholder feedback, students, staff, parents. We have looked at the positives of having the teachers on the same schedule to be able to share teachers across the campuses. As we continue to get smaller as a district, the school is slowly morphing into a junior, senior high like it once was when it opened. It's kind of full circle back to that. And the big change here is moving from 6 periods to 5, and that you can see that on there. The emphasis is on continue to raise academics and a focus on the 4 cores. And this will allow more time in class in English, math, science, and social studies, but also still provide at a minimum 3 elective opportunities for kids throughout the year. And some electives will be offered as micro electives, so there'll be a 6-week versus a 12-week elective. I'll give an example of that. Flag football has been an elective in the past. That might be a 6-week elective, and then the other 6 weeks is basketball. So they get 2 different activities in that 12-week term. Some will be full year, some will be 2 terms versus 1 term. So more will come as the principals finalize their schedule. But we went through the electives just earlier this week at a principal meeting, and there are a lot of elective choices at both schools. And I think there's going to be a few new classes coming to you over the rest of this school year from both the high school and middle school for approval. And I believe that the kids will benefit from the emphasis on math and English, especially where we can always continue to improve, especially at the middle school level, getting them ready for high school. We also want to share that one thing that will help with this is another advantage for parents. There's 2 big advantages for parents who are looking for really high-level accelerated opportunities. One is with the way we're trying to schedule math, there will be a natural, with a trimester system, there will be a natural way for kids to accelerate in math without having to wait till the following year to accelerate. So the hope, and what I've pushed on the principals, is to make it where a kid could do 3 terms of math in 1 year, get a year and a half of math done versus just 1 year of math, and be able to walk into high school possibly in geometry or even beyond geometry, which is something we really want to do. The second thing that is an advantage to parents looking for acceleration is in 8th grade especially, they will now be able to take high school classes in 8th grade in what we're calling advanced middle school. So an 8th grader as an elective could take biology, they could take world history, and get some high school credits done in middle school. And then on the back end, when they run out of high school credits, we have FHU for the ASU credits, and that will help them to be able to take more of the ASU courses as they get to their junior and senior year. So it's a whole accelerated model from 6th through 12th grade.
Okay. So I guess one comment. I see the value of having an extended period to pay more attention to that subject. I guess my only concern is attention span. Are the periods, an hour and 10 minutes too long? Are kids going to lose attention?
Well, we're at 60 minutes now,
okay.
And things are working smooth.
All right.
So it's 10 minutes. What we have shared, and especially what I've shared with Dr. Wheeldryer at the middle school level, high school, when we first switched to this, everyone was like, that's a long time. Now it's just normal, right?
Okay.
And when we have a half day, it's like, I can't get anything done. And well, that's what your class used to be, right?
Okay.
So I think they'll adjust. The second thing, though, to your point, is we have talked very much about a short break in the middle of the period, like step outside for 5 minutes as a class, right? Go out, see the beautiful weather, take a quick break, and then come back in and have, the other 30-minute or 35-minute session. So that is something that they need to do, and they need to be, it needs to be engaging, and it needs to be a fun experience. And so we've pushed hard on getting the screens closed and doing activities. But I have talked to them about having that natural break, a little timeout there to get up and move and come back in.
Okay. Because I just been in so many long meetings, it's like, no, it's too long.
Yeah.
Okay. Other comments?
No, I was with Dr. W. at the coffee, and we were all discussing the fact that you're certainly not expecting a teacher to be standing there lecturing the whole time.
No.
So it's nice, you could have breaks, you could stop, you could do projects, you could do different things, you could have, people working on different facets of something.
Yeah.
So
And you can
have
always,
the time, you could do it.
you can always adjust, like you said, we push and try new things in this district. When we went to the trimester at high school, there was some uncertainty, and 3 years in, everything is running smooth, and it worked out great. There's still room to grow and obviously still room to improve, but the big thing that we, we're gonna look at is, yes, is that time working? They can always adjust. We are over our minutes, so we have that opportunity. And, the big shift for parents is start and end times. During the day, it's, a trust in, we're doing what's best for the kids. And I think, having that extra 10 minutes is going to be beneficial. If we see struggles, we'll adjust. And if a year from now they say, hey, we tried this and we want to try something different, that's the beauty of education. You can keep trying. But we're not reducing time, we're adding time. So I think that's a good win. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. So I know in advisory right now in the middle school, there's a focus on math.
Yeah.
What would be the plan, given that math is going to have more time?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a plan or thought process around advisory? Is it going to go back to doing something else?
Well, advisory, this is the first time they've tried it at the middle school, and she wanted to put that focus on math, and I think it's a good plan. I think it's going to be a combination of a lot of different things. One is you do your announcements, and sometimes those are long. Dr. W has a lot of fun with those announcements, so she goes for a little bit, so that's some of that time. There's opportunity for, housekeeping items. There's a lot of housekeeping items that you got to deal with. And then you have, like we do ACT prep. Sometimes we do that at the high school. So this could be ASA prep questions they could be working on. There could be a quarter where there's a focus on math, a quarter where it's working on, quietly reading, an emphasis on, different projects that they want to do. So I would have to defer to Dr. Wheeldryer on more specifically her plan, but the idea of the advisory time at the high school when we brought it in was to have another caring adult checking on the kids every day. And so some of the teachers at the high school have kids in their advisory they don't have in class at all. So it's just one more adult that's checking grades, checking attendance, and that's another piece of this. So we sometimes, at the high school, we use advisory to meet with grade levels. So ninth graders, we want to talk with you about your behavior in the lunchroom, right? And there's we got 15, 20 minutes to do that. So how I envision it running is, a combination of principal meeting with grade levels to enhance behaviors and to set expectations throughout the year. It's opportunities for guest speakers, it's opportunities for housekeeping, it's opportunities for specific targeted help in different areas. So there's a lot of things that come up where that 20 minutes is a nice time, because in the old days, and some of the teachers who've been there in this room, English was the one that always kind of got picked on for any type of guest speaker or any type of event, because everyone has English or everyone has math. And so this has eliminated that, where whenever we have to get all the kids together, it's just this scheduled time to do it. So I would use it as a principal to really, really meet with my kids. I probably meet with a grade level weekly, just to keep reiterating my expectations, point out the good things, maybe have some awards for students who really impressed me, to build culture and climate. So it's a 20-minute window, and it just gives us an opportunity to do a lot of different things. Yep.
I have one more quick question on this. A few of the teachers have the 6/5. Is that because they will not have a prep period during the day?
Yeah, the Innovate 21 teachers are the ones who typically have that at the middle school, and that's by choice.
Yeah.
They have elected to have all 8th graders. That's something that they wanted, to really push hard on the whole 8th grade class down the stretch. And we work with our staff, and if they have an idea like that, we run with it. The results have been very good. As you've seen, their test scores have gone up significantly. And yes, there's a little bit of a cost to the district for that. But on the flip side, some of the other teachers do have smaller classes as a result of that. So I think the positives outweigh any of the negatives on that. And there is, I've told the principals that I only want 4 6/5 next year across the district. Now, that's unreasonable, but that's where I'm setting the bar. So hopefully they surprise us.
Okay, all right. Bernie, do you have any questions?
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
That's it? Okay. All right, so we need a motion to approve the middle school schedule. Who would like to do that?
I so move.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. Next item is the superintendent candidate screening rubric, page 93 and following. And this we discussed last week, and I think it's pretty much the same, yeah?
I think the only thing that changed was we had the fourth.
The fourth subcommittee,
Yeah.
Right.
which is, yeah, okay. So I will move that we approve the superintendent candidate screening rubric. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Next up is the interview process timeline on page 96 and 97. And I think we had talked about, so tomorrow is the deadline for receiving applications, and we'll all come in at different times this Friday to review them. The point is to narrow them down to, I think we were talking about 3 finalists. Is that agreeable? And then those 3 finalists would be the one to be scheduled with the subcommittees on the 17th. And then they would make their recommendations to us, and then we would review those on the 18th, and then make a decision on the 25th of March. So I think that's the timeline. Correct, Kristen? Okay, yeah, okay. All right, any comments, questions?
And when do contracts have to go out to the staff?
They can't go out until, I think the opening by law is right around, I don't have a calendar, but around March 18th.
Okay.
And we are not putting them out till the 23rd to give Alicia, as she's new, first year at this, we told staff ahead of time, we're gonna be about 3 days after that. That's the earliest you can do it by law. So we're gonna be about 3 days beyond that to give her a little bit more time to be ready. And then they will be due back by April 13th. That's they have 15 business days to respond. And then April 13th would be where we have our final, staffing numbers and where we need to hire.
Okay. I move we approve the interview process timeline.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
For the day the committees interview, are you guys fine with me setting up a timeline of like a 45 minutes
I'd say
interview
50,
session?
I'd say 50 and 10 minutes of time.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay.
And if there's 3 finalists and 4 subcommittees, someone will have downtime, or they can
Yep.
start later. Or,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I move we approve the,
Okay, and now do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we're good with that one. All right, and next up is, I think I'm going in the wrong direction here. Okay, next up is the authorization for superintendent to enter into a lease agreement with the Behavior Ally, I don't know how we pronounce that, Behavior Ally, after district attorney approval.
So, Dr. Council members, board and guests, what we're asking for tonight is to approve that with the approval of Dave, our attorney, that the lease looks correct, to then enter into a lease agreement with Behavior Ally with that caveat that Dave has approved it. He is still, as of time of this being, ready for the board meeting, he was still reviewing it at the time.
Okay.
So I don't have a copy to give you, but we know that if Dave approves it as your attorney, that it is in good shape and you feel good about everything in it. If you want to table, we certainly can, but nothing's changed in it. It's just the wording of, we don't have anybody on staff that can write a lease agreement for this. So
So if he recommends changes, would it come back to us? then?
Yes.
This is basically if there's no substantial changes.
Yes, yes.
All right, I'll move, go
Okay,
ahead.
I was just gonna ask, were things incorporated that Todd had mentioned?
Everything, all the feedback we got from you all and everything we got from Todd have all been incorporated.
Great.
And the like the price and all that has not shifted. The no compete clause, all those things are in there. It's just,
There's more format.
it's more just Dave said, yeah, we need to clean this up. So it was an attempt by us to do it. And Dave said, let me have a little more time with this. So
Okay.
we'll give you a polished, version when it's done, but nothing has changed. It's just the wording to make sure it's correct and legal.
And the start date would be when, do we know?
It is in, I think it's July 15th, right around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, all right. I'll move that we approve the authorization for the superintendent to enter into the lease agreement with Behavior Ally after district attorney's approval. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next up is the budget reduction.
Yes. So, Dr. Gus, members of the board and guests, I presented last time. I was not planning to. I can if you want me to bring up any slides. We have not made any changes to what we presented, but one thing I do want to clarify is that, it's coming up, reduction in force is a later agenda item, so I will wait on that part, but what I'm asking for is board approval to reduce to the number and the positions that were presented, but also knowing that if we need to reduce further, we would bring it back to you. So I'm asking for the approval of up to the 1.4 million that I brought to you, and then I'll go through the RIF process when that agenda item comes up.
Okay. Questions, comments?
I'll just say, I think at this point, you've done a great job of kind of outlining things for us, so thank you for that, and I'm ready to vote on it.
Thank you.
Okay, would you like to make the motion then?
I will make a motion that we approve the budget reduction plan for the 26-27 school year.
And how about a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, moving on to consideration of and possible action to approve administration's recommendations regarding staff reduction in force.
Okay, so Dr. Guzman, members of the board and guests, with the budget reductions that you just approved, we have 6 RIFs, reductions in force, that we're going to need to execute. We have, tonight, I'm bringing to you that 5 of those will be, either have been or will be immediately, those people will be spoken to about, if they have not already, 5 of them. 1 is to be determined based on some additional factors that I can, share with you at a later time. But right now, 5 of them have been identified and have either been spoken to or will be or had the opportunity to meet with me and did not. And 1 is to be determined based on some additional factors. So we follow the policy in governing board policy. Do you have that off the top of your head, which one that is? Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, we went through it all. She's going to look it up here real quick. And there are steps. There's a policy and then a regulation. And so it gives you basically a rubric of what you can and cannot do. And so one of the biggest things you can't do is use seniority, tenure as a reason. So what we do with the RIF process is we look at certificates, we look at what they bring as far as to the table as an educator. So someone who has multiple certificates would put them in a different level of the RIF list than someone who has one or has none or is on an emergency certification. We also look at, you're allowed to, in the regulation, look at what they do within the district outside of the teaching job. So what other benefits they bring to the students of the district. And then we're also allowed to look at if they bring anything that would be a loss to the community, things of that nature. So Alicia and I and the principals went through all the staff. Principals sent recommendations to me of who they wanted to reduce in force. And like last year, when we did this, I do believe there's a good chance many of the people, not all, I can't promise, but I do believe with people moving, retiring, leaving the district, that there could be, a lot of them could be called back into positions. Last year, everyone was offered, I believe, but maybe one was offered a position back in the district. Some chose to, some chose not to. And there will be, I think, some opportunities for some of these employees to be able to let us know they're interested in a position that is unfilled. But what we have to do at this time is we have to reduce to get the budget down to where we need to get to. And then from there, anyone who does not have a place, we need to place them. And we need to place them in, as best we can, into an area where, they're able to work. Some may not want to switch schools, even though they have the certificate to do so, and that would be up to them if they want to stay or not. So it would be, for the certified, this is just certified, there will be other reduction in force coming to you for classified, and if there's any admin or anything, other employee groups would come later. This is just certified because we have to get their contracts out first. They're the first ones. So with that, I'll answer any questions you have about the process. And we did check all of our process with Dave and Don, both attorneys, to make sure that we had done everything correctly.
Okay.
So I actually
Questions?
I have this as just staff in general, this action item. I don't have it as certified.
Okay. So
I
to start the
can change that if you
reduction,
want.
no, we can, we're starting the reduction in force, but at this time, we're just speaking with certified at this time. More to come.
Okay. So if we make a motion, should we specify certified staff?
No, because
No?
you're allowing us to start making staff reductions in force.
Okay.
I will bring additional to you as we have to make those at future meetings. We could have it be a recurring agenda item.
Okay.
But right now, I think you're giving me action to approve our recommendations regarding staff reductions in force moving forward as we go through the budget process.
Okay. Questions, comments? Bernie, anything?
Sounds fine.
No? Okay. All right, so I will make the motion that we approve the consideration of impossible action to approve the administration's recommendations regarding staff reduction in force. Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. And next up is the M&O override. And I have a question about this. So if I understand this correctly, that the resolution would be, if we vote to pursue it today, the resolution will be brought back to us in June, but doesn't the decision have to be made by May?
It would not be in
It
June.
would not be in
So
June.
that
Do I
must,
have June?
that's,
Yeah, it says June, but
that's a typo.
SB, so that would
That's
need to
my
be
mistake.
changed to whatever, is
It
it
could be the
May?
next meeting, it could be whatever meeting we choose to do the resolution. So what you would be authorizing today is that we want to move forward with the M&O override. And then with that, we then work with the attorneys to create a resolution to bring back to you to officially vote on at that time.
Yeah,
And then move forward from there. And that has to be, we have to not only make that decision, but have time to let everyone involved in that process know, I believe, before May. I think we're at the timeline now where we got to get started.
so today's vote doesn't commit us to the November ballot, it just says start pursuing the process, work on the language and
I think
such,
it's
and then
not
decide.
official till you
Got it.
do the resolution, but you're giving authorization to move forward with a resolution to bring back, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so do we have to change the June 2026 to
Yeah.
May?
May.
I would
Whatever the
say,
date is.
I would say the resolution would come at the next meeting.
At the next meeting?
Yeah.
Well, probably not the next meeting.
Okay.
because that packet goes out Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So maybe prior to May, you could change it to prior to May
Yeah.
2026?
yes, that would work,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, any questions,
No.
comments? Okay, so I will, I'll make the motion that we approve to pursue the M&O override election with a resolution to be brought back to the board prior to May 2026 for approval pursuant to the election process. Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. Okay, that's all for the action items. On to information discussion for the equalizing salary schedule.
Yes, Dr. Kuski, members of the board and guests. As we spoke earlier on the salary schedules, as part of the meet and confer process, it was brought to our attention by the meet and confer team that there are a handful of employees in the district who, due to being here for a period of time, usually it's seven years or longer, they were originally placed in the salary schedule and they were hired, and with freezes on the salary schedule pretty frequent over those last 7 years or so, and percent raises given at times or one-time raises given at times, there are a handful of employees where if they were to resign today and be rehired tomorrow, they would get a pay increase because they have been on a step for a while and the base salary or new hires has gone up, and because of freezes, theirs did not. And I will say I've seen this in other districts happen where it's not across the board. It is just a few, I think it's 11 total staff in the whole district, to move them next year to equalize. It's about $19,000 to $20,000 towards our budget of $9 million to equalize them. And what we're asking for when we bring it back for a vote at the next meeting is that we move them to one step above where a new hire would come in, so that they're not at the same level as a new hire. They're at least one step above that. We can't go, I don't believe, going farther than that, because then you open up, there were so many freezes, so many things that happened. And so me and Confer agreed to this as a group and asked for me to bring it forward, and it is something we do need to address. So that is the background of this. We found out in the meet and confer process this year. It was not brought up in previous meet and confer years that I've been here that I know of. It's never come to me until this year, and I do think it's an easy fix. We went through, Christy and I went through every staff member that could be affected, and we looked at them, and like I said, I believe it was 11 is the number that are affected. Some are affected only by one step, so it's a very small number. Others, it could be 3 or 4 steps, and it could be as high as $2,000, but none of them are probably above a $2,000 max. I can't give you an exact number, but it's probably pretty minimal.
Okay. Is it possible that a new hire with more higher degree training would still be paid more than?
Yes.
It could be, okay.
It's more of like if you take a teacher with a bachelor's degree and 7 years, we only in our salary schedule take up to 6 years, so they would be placed at up to step 6 with a bachelor's degree. But we have some teachers who have been here for 6 years who were placed years ago, and because there hasn't been steps every year and the base has gone up, that was missed. Now I can say I think only one time that I've been here did we make any change to the salary schedule, and I believe all we did is uniformly add a number on one of our raises to every step. So it wasn't, we've never moved since I've been here a step. It's always been a percent or a one-time, because there's been a lot of uncertainty, and once you move a step, it's permanent. And so our staff has not had that in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I think the question is, it's a sensitive time with all the other moving parts going on. with retention of teachers, even though other districts may be putting teachers out on the market, we still need to watch after our good performers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to resign and come back with more money. It
Well,
just
and
makes
as soon
sense.
as I found out, we immediately put it on the agenda for you guys to approve, because as we move forward, we'll have to move those 11 employees with your approval to those new steps.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, I think absolutely it needs to be done. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Dr. J.
Yep.
Future action includes student outcomes such as report cards and proficiency data, and then the superintendent selection process. Anyone else with more stuff? or-
What I do want to bring up is to put something, Ms. Reichler, about the textbook as soon as possible. Because
just about there.
yeah, because if we have to put it out for 60 days before we vote, whether we're approving or not, I want to make sure that teachers are able to have some kind of information.
I think our timeline is still good. They're very close, and once we put it on, even if we get it in by the end of April, May and June, we can, when's our last meeting in June? If we have it approved by the last meeting of June for the last, one of the year, we'll have time to order and get them in. We ordered the math books. They were pretty quick.
The ordering's fine, it's the training for the teachers that I worry about.
So what we were thinking is we have a few half-days at the, and this is new information.
Okay.
But it's okay. We have a few half-days at the end of the year. And I think one of them is Wednesday, Tuesday, or Wednesday,
Okay.
whatever. We were gonna take a day or two and use an hour of time as an introduction. We have online training opportunities. An hour of time as an introduction to the curriculum for K through 2, and then take another hour of the training for 3 through 5.
Okay. So it's
It's a thought.
it's just a matter of, as soon as I get the recommendation, it'll be on the next board meeting to get started. Okay?
And I
I
have
think the
just one.
process for that would follow the supplemental reading, where actually you would just be announcing that it's on display.
Yeah.
And then once it's done the 60 days, then it would come to you guys as an info discussion, then action.
That's what I thought.
So-
That's why I want to make sure we have the 60 days in there, so we're able to have a little bit of training for the
Yeah.
teachers.
And you're going to have a lot of meetings coming up with, superintendent things. You could also add that
We
as
can
an
add it
agenda
on there.
item.
And one other thing, when we talk about salary, came to my attention that we probably should look at who gets stipend, because I heard there's somebody working on the yearbook, which is a lot of work. That person is not getting any stipend at all.
Okay, well, we can talk about
So
that.
we could do that.
I can give
In
you
the
a
middle
call.
school.
Yeah, I can give you a call on that.
Okay.
I don't think that would be an agenda item, but
All
I
right.
can talk to you privately on
Great.
that, yeah.
Okay. All right, upcoming meetings, March 18th and April 8th, here at 6 PM. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. All right, there are some signatures
Click.
here.
Stuff to sign.
I'll split half and half.
Okay.
I already signed them. I cheated, I already signed them.
That's what they used to do.
Yeah, well, I figured we were going to approve this stuff, so,
We're into approving, so we're okay.
yeah, we're flying through the meeting, it's not bad, 7:20.